welcome back. If you've not followed us on our social media platform, now is the time. At High Impact TV and at High Impact TV UK, it's where you should go on any social media platform so you can see all that we have, even some behind the scenes actions that you can find for tea or coffee and other programs on High Impact TV. Now, our conversation for our Relationship Thursday is: why do traditional men get attracted to contemporary women? Now, we didn't come up with this ourselves because we actually saw this conversation on social media by Diary of a Niger Girl. So she asked this question, and then we will be asking you this morning. And she said that, where is it now? Okay, so she said that let's talk about deeply traditional men liking and courting contemporary women who don't understand or live by norms. Number one, what's the attraction? Number two, why do you think the men like the women but end up wanting to change them? Number three, why do women think they can change the men? So let me ask you. A contemporary woman is somebody that is not the everyday girly girl. That is, she's really not interested in the sedentary life. I'm trying to, paint a picture for you. She just wants to be...
Twitter feminist.
Wow. No.
No?
No,
okay.
That's not what we're saying.
All right,
Twitter feminist, that just sounds wrong.
Okay.
In so many ways. Knowing you and how you paint some of this.
No, I want to understand what you're saying.
Exactly, so I'm trying to explain it to you.
No, that's why I'm trying to understand.
No, you're not. Okay,
all right, keep going.
A contemporary woman is a career-driven woman.
Right.
She's independent. She cares for people around her, but she's goal-oriented. She's all about empowerment. She's all about giving all into you, breaking the glass ceiling and all of that.
So someone like you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think contemporary.
Yeah. Okay.
Is that a compliment?
No, yes, it is. It is.
I know you. It looks like a Trojan.
No, it is.
But all the same, yes, a contemporary woman. And then a traditional man is, how do I put this now? The guy that enjoys traditional things. Yeah. He would rather his wife at home being a housewife.
Yeah.
He would rather his wife be submissive. The producer said blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Yes, and he would rather the regular things that we see in Hollywood movies, where she's going to fetch water, all of those things.
Cooking the meals, serving the food on tray.
So, kneeling, all of those things. He would
that's
a traditional man, and he's working. He's that guy that wants to protect. He wants to be the sole breadwinner. He wants to be the one providing. Right. He doesn't want any other person having business with his family and all of that. That's a traditional man, and then we have a contemporary one. But recently, we've been seeing that attraction where a traditional man, he knows that these are the things that he wants. Yeah. But then somehow he's attracted to the contemporary woman that doesn't care for what he wants. Like, doesn't care for those kind of things that he's really interested in. So what is the attraction really? Why do you think that why should they end up together? Because of course what they want are they're different things. She would rather have a contemporary man. She gets a man that understands that, okay, so I am working 24/7. Yeah. Let's find a way to, and he's also working, so let's find a way to measure these things up. And he should probably also end up with a traditional woman. Yeah. But instead, he wants to end up with a bad B,
Yeah. Okay.
He wants to end up with a bad B because he enjoys, he sees them on Instagram, he's flashy, she has her own money, she has her own car, she's doing very great. When I say bad B, I don't necessarily mean the bad B that is painted.
Right, like the Instagram baddie.
No, not really. All right. But of course, I've seen a lot of contemporary women that are also Instagram baddies. Like they can have it all. They are very
Not all Instagram baddies are contemporary women though.
That's why I said I've seen some contemporary women that are Instagram baddies. I didn't say it the other way.
Okay.
Round. Yeah. Did you get me?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So
this is going to be so fun.
I mean, what is the attraction, really? What do you think is the attraction?
So, first of all, where is Ife, Diary of the Nigerian Girl, getting these statistics from? First of all. Secondly, in what world does, I think it's in the mind of a contemporary woman that a traditional man wants her. Actually, I'm like, I feel like it's in what world does a traditional man wants a contemporary woman? I think I need to understand the conversation a lot better and maybe see case studies, but I don't think that happens. Especially in the average man does not like a feminist. The average Nigerian man, rather, does not want a feminist.
Are you sure?
No, because in what? I feel like, because I don't think traditional men are attracted to modern women. They want someone like, okay, Pettiduce is the epitome of a traditional man, right? But he's quite mature. So a traditional man, for instance, in our generation, is embodying those beliefs and embodying those attitudes towards marriages, towards relationships, towards gender relations, right? I don't know. I don't see a world where a traditional man wants a contemporary. I really think this is in the mind of the woman. Contemporary women, and okay. First of all, let's put a disclaimer out here that I am not a traditional man. I don't subscribe to such ideologies of gender relations. I don't subscribe to strict gender roles. I don't subscribe to these particular things. All right. So maybe I'm not a traditional man. I'm a modern man that maybe likes a modern woman. So I need to put that out there because I'm going to say some things that is going to seem like, I'm a traditional person, but really it's not. But because I have friends who are quite traditional in that perspective.
Hey.
I have friends who are quite traditional. In fact, I have a friend who is married that is quite traditional in that perspective. Okay. But when his wife is a very goal-oriented, self-development, career-driven person, she's still still a bit traditional in her relations with him. And maybe that's what he has demanded from their marriage, right? So now, modern women or contemporary women do this thing where, it's beautiful, independence is beautiful, freedom is beautiful, financial freedom, career freedom, even down to like when they want to have children and all these things, that freedom is beautiful to see. But I find it interesting that modern women do this thing where they think the world revolves around them, especially the world of gender relations. They think it's, and so it's modern women you see saying things like, men are trash, or it's modern women you see. Modern women.
Hold on.
What?
You cannot. You see, this is where I have a problem with conversations like this, where we make generalistic comments. Hold on. Let's back up a little bit and let's take it one step at a time. I am a modern woman. That is one. And secondly,
modern woman.
Thank you. So when you had, let's be very clear. When you are making certain comments as we are going on with this conversation, because of course we're going to get to that part where we're doing the gender conversation.
Right.
It's a normal thing. So when you are going to get to that point, make sure you are correct. Let me just say it as they say it urbanly. Come correct,
all
guys.
Right.
Go on.
Okay. So modern women. Modern women, look, as I said, I submit to the ideology and the sentimental values of protecting women, even as a modern man, especially with what is going on in our society today, with what happened with INI and all this kind of stuff. I subscribe completely to these ideologies, especially even what is going on with Papa Ijesha and the 14-year-old girl and all these kind of things that are happening in our society today. So really, we need to protect women. We need to do better as men. So I'm saying all these things as disclaimers because now back to this thing about the mother woman. The mother woman. I want to really understand, and I feel like once we begin to get into our views from the net, we're going to probably see, probably I'll get a better understanding. But right now, I don't see a world where the average traditional Nigerian man wants a modern woman.
How do I put this? I realize that some people want to have their cake and eat it. What does that mean?
Okay.
Or eat their cake and have it, as the case may be. A traditional man in this current dispensation is not 100% traditional. What do I mean? There has been a lot of metamorphosis.
Right.
You grew up traditionally.
Yeah.
You saw your dad and your mom behave traditionally, but then you've gone to school. There is now social media. You probably traveled abroad. You now have friends. So you know that your traditional state of mind is now adulterated. You have that traditional aspect, but then there are bits and pieces of things that have changed. You have seen how some women behave traditionally that you're not really a fan of, but you want some part of that. But then you also want a woman that can hold her own. So you want a mix of a traditional and a contemporary woman in a contemporary woman, because she's fine, she's fly, she has money to an extent, she can speak. I mean, you want a woman that can speak on her own, that can speak out for you and blah, blah, blah. But in the house is submissive and cooking and cleaning, but then outside she's all dressed nice and everything. You want that mix. But then you know that a typical traditional woman does not have that mix.
Right.
Do you get me?
Yeah.
But a contemporary woman can have that mix because she's educated, she has the ability to be open-minded, she can learn, unlearn, and relearn. So deep down in your mind, you feel like, okay, so if I have this contemporary woman, I can teach her the ways that I really love, and then she can also, do some things and then fix herself up and all of that. So that's what I see most of the time. But let's get into,
Okay. All right. So let's have the first comments from our views from the net this morning. And this is from Moyosore from Lagos. So the attraction is obviously only physical, and that's not enough to really make a relationship successful. Clearly not. Women also like to change men. I think humans generally just like changing other people. We mostly say we can't have all our desired qualities in one person, but we can at least have a good percentage of it in them. So we always tend to try to make them see what we want from them and try to make them accept it. I wouldn't say it is completely wrong for this to happen, because relationship is all about compromises. You should be ready to make compromises for your partner, vice versa. At the end of the day, there's always a point of agreement. The question is, are they both reasonable enough to iron things out maturely? If I were the one that a woman wants me to change some things for her, if I can afford to, then I will. But she has to be ready to change some things for me too. Now, the question we actually ask people is, why do traditional men like and court contemporary women, then wants to change them? Why does a woman think she can change a man? So Moisore has focused on the change aspect of a relationship. Now, I think it's very dangerous for you to enter a relationship thinking you can change the person. Actually,
you can't change anybody.
I feel
Let's just let that out there.
yeah. Okay. So I think it's very dangerous to enter that particular mindset that, oh, look at him, look at his ways are not straight. Don't worry, when I marry him, his crooked ways will make right. No. It's crooked. If you try, you might just break those crooked ways and make him actually worse. So
no, you will be crooked. That's what is going to happen.
Well,
actually, if you end up doing that, you turn out to be
iron
one
sharpness iron, right?
Well,
actually, that's now back and forth.
It's backward now, because you're not sharpening anything now, because you're probably iron, and then this other one is God knows what.
Wow. Okay.
All
right. So I think that when people are getting into relationships, they need to come into the mindset of accepting the person the way they are, and loving them if they change, loving them regardless if they change. Now, when you come into a relationship with someone and you're thinking that, I'm going to change this guy, or I'm going to change this woman. Okay, let's take it from the male point of view, like a traditional man marrying a contemporary woman, thinking that, she doesn't have respect, she doesn't kneel down to grace my mother. Don't worry, when I marry her, I had to correct. No. I think that is very dangerous, because there'll be a lot of frustration. There'll be a lot of bad bad energy in the home, if you're coming into a relationship, you need to accept your partner the way they are. And obviously, compromises, the place of compromises are very important in a relationship. But as you're making compromises, as you're hoping rather that your partner makes compromises, you should also be open-minded to making some sacrifices and compromises to making the relationship work. So, entering a relationship with the mindset of I'm going to change the person can be very diabolical. Okay,
so let me get into this one, and then I'm going to contribute to what you just said. So this is also from, this is another Moyesera from Abuja, and Moyesera says, I think everyone likes a challenge. Most of these men are so fantasized about the idea of wanting a contemporary type of woman. They find her, try to turn her to something she's not. When she doesn't fit that, they do not care about her again, especially since she's not their wife. Then they look for other ladies to date on the side. Women think they can change men because they can. The problem is some women allow it. Men are children, and there is a way to talk to a child and he'll listen to you. Do you get?
Excuse me? Excuse me? What? Excuse me? I'm not going to take that. I'm not going to take that. I'm not going to take that.
Is there a way I should sit?
I'm not going to.
Does this?
No,
I'm not. Does the camera make me feel like I'm lounging?
I'm not going to accept that.
Am I lounging? Do I look like I'm lounging?
Men are children, and there's a way to talk to a child, and you will listen to you.
Apparently.
Are you serious?
That may be true. I don't know. Look, that may be true. So I found...
You don't know.
I want to zip it. No, I'm going to say something. So I realized that for a guy that has a genuine spirit, I am not talking about an evil person. I'm talking about somebody that has the ability to do both good and bad, but that has a balance, a genuine spirit. If you do everything that he says he wants, he can be trained. That thing is so wild.
Wow.
I'm serious. Let me
You can be trained.
Let me run something by you. Well, maybe the word is not trained.
Continue.
Maybe the word is not trained. Let me run something by you. So, Ade, I've known you for a bit, and I can say for a fact that I know a level of things that you like and don't like. You love amala. Ogufe, Abula, and all of that.
Nice.
You are touchy-feely. that is, you love certain things.
Right. Okay.
You enjoy good music.
All right.
You love very nice cars. You like you like things that are very beautiful to the eyes. Now, I'm your babe. Yes, I already know all of these things. You come back from you've been chatting with me like, babe, this is so bad, blah, blah, blah. Week has been crazy. I've not seen you. It's okay, so babe, how about you come over? By the time you get to the house, the first thing I'm welcoming you with is wine. The wine that you like, with grapes. And then of course, the bubble bath that you enjoy.
Wow.
With very nice, I'm not even the one that's giving you that massage, a very nice masseuse from, I don't know, Philippines, someone that actually knows their craft.
Right.
Yeah? And then when you're done, there is amala, ready for you to devour with the quantity that you like, with very good meat that doesn't have bone. Very wonderful meat. Then with
I might just make you my babe.
That with juice, Ade, with juice, and of course, I got exclusive rights with Blockbuster that you want. By the time we are done with that particular fit and you're so relaxed, and then if I say I want you to climb the mountain, you will stand up, tie up, and climb that mountain. Yes, actually. And a lot of people have
Do you know this is vice versa, though?
I know.
Okay,
I know, actually. But then it works easier for a man that is used to, what's it called now? Women not wanting to take control, and then finally find somebody that is not ready to take any control. She's contemporary. She has her own, but she's so, what's that word now? She's so submissive per se. She's always doing everything that you want. If you tell her that, okay, so I don't want to get into this argument, and she says, okay, fine, don't let us get into this argument. Oh, I apologize.
Right.
And then she goes away. And then you're feeling good about yourself. Oh, you want to watch sports, she lets you watch sports. Oh, you want to hang out with the guys, she lets you hang out with the guys. Oh, you come back late, she lets you come back late.
Is that treating a man like a child? Is that what that
Not
is?
necessarily, but she's giving, actually, yes. Now, children, they throw tantrums. The moment they get what they want, they behave. I'm just letting you know. But
So that's how wow, really?
and then there's some other things that
Okay, I'm just
there's just some other things that are just going to
I'm just glad that you said it's vice versa.
It is vice versa. However, now here's the problem. Most times, most guys do not want to do that because there is that alpha male behavior.
The traditional thing.
The alpha male, like me. Why would I do that? Like a man doesn't do this. A man doesn't do that. A man would not apologize.
Let me tell you something about men.
All right, tell me.
See, like a lot of women get confused as to why maybe a man is dating a woman for 4 years and then he breaks up with her, and then he's dating a woman after he dates a woman for 2 years and then they get married immediately. A lot of women will get confused, like, as in how will you end a 4-7 year relationship and then go and marry someone you just know for 2 years? See, when a man finds peace, he will do anything for that woman. See, men, we just want peace, because men, okay, so I agree with Mosoro a bit, but that child comments, I get where she's coming from, but anyway, and maybe it's because I'm being defensive.
You're being defensive.
But see, the thing is that men, once a man is at peace, like a man wants peace of, men are not hard to hack, actually, and you actually gave a scenario like, give me amala, give me no. Men are not hard to hack. You just, for instance, give me amala, rub my back small, tell me I'm beautiful, then ask for what you want. I will give you because. See, men, no, that's the truth. Men we're not hard to hack, and we're very simple, and that's why if you bring chaos into our simplicity, you have lost us. If some guys like toxic women, Actually, a lot of guys. Well, don't let me say a lot of guys, but some guys.
A lot of guys like toxic women.
They like toxic women because they like that, And I would say that for my friends that like toxic women, is because, for instance, they're quite promiscuous, so they need somebody that is checking them at all times. They need someone that's keeping them on their feet. But then the other spectrum of the guys, that even in and then you realize that a guy that leaves a toxic relationship and finds a peaceful woman, he's just like, wow, relationships can be this nice. I have a friend who's going through that right now. Like, he has left a very toxic relationship and is dating this woman that brings him so much peace. She's a chef as well. She brings him food. Like, she's so gentle with him. And it's just like, So relationship can be this nice. The underlying factor with men is peace. If you see men, they are going through the tradition, and I want to say now, with men, there's so much demand and pressure from men. I want you to look at some of our views from the net this morning, and the next one we have for you is JBO from Lagos. Now, JBO is saying the attraction between deeply traditional men and contemporary women is the chase and the idea of getting what a lot of people couldn't have, and when you do, you're amused but still want to be in control. People should, however, remember that in life you can't have it all, but seek for that which tends to satisfy your innermost desire. The woman thinks she can change the man because the man met her in the guise that he genuinely wanted a partner and not a subject. But then a man will change when he's tired of his bad habits. You change for nobody but yourself. If a man changes for the woman he wants, he will never fully be himself, only what someone else wants. Men don't like that. Our ego will come to play. JBO is very correct. It's very dangerous, even down to friendships. like just the regular friendships between maybe a man and another man, or a man and a woman, and you're hoping that you can change this person, this friend of yours. It's very dangerous when you put, and it's even more tricky and it's more sensitive in relationships, in eros relationships. That's eros kind of love, a loving relationship, where you enter a relationship and then you make someone essentially sign ultimatums, stop bad habits because of you. It's very dangerous because they're not doing it for themselves, they're doing it for you. And it's always going to be a case of they're going to project some of their frustrations towards you, because it's like, because of you I couldn't, because of you I can't, because of you I didn't. Now it then becomes a blame game, because it's now they make it external. It can go in a way where the problems or the challenges a person is facing, now they project it towards the partner that they have compromised for. If people want to change, you need to let them change and make that decision for themselves. As a matter of fact, that's a sustainable change. A change that is dependent or that is based on another person's feelings towards you is actually not sustainable, because when you begin to feel like this person doesn't care for me, you then would actually essentially reverb back to what to the bad habits or to the behavior that you actually stopped because of this person. So it's actually very dangerous, to submit people to changing because you quote unquote love them. If you love them, you would understand that they need to go through that journey themselves. All right, so the next one we have is Kemi from Abeokuta. Now Kemi is saying, well, I will say they want classy women who knows about modern things and will put them through or teach them about new things. They want to change them in order to suit their lifestyle and understanding. Remember, without understanding in marriage, it will lead to divorce. It's an absolutely trashy idea for a woman to think she can change a man. I just feel like they think so because there's nothing impossible. This law doesn't apply to human behavior, and therefore it's a waste of time to think such. So a lot of people seem to be in agreement with this change factor. It's more beautiful when a person makes a decision to actually change for themselves. And I'll even give you a scenario, like on a friendship scenario. If, for instance, your friend has decided that they are not going to drink anymore, and they're telling you, maybe they've decided that they're not going to take any alcohol beverages anymore, and you are that friend, you are that drinking partner of that friend, and then because of your friend, you decide that, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm not going to drink anymore. What I've realized, what happens is that the initial friend, so let's say Bob decided he's not going to drink anymore, and Rob, who is his drinking partner, decides that since Bob is not drinking anymore, I'm not going to drink anymore. That change is not sustainable for Rob, because Rob is not doing it for himself. Rob thinks he's doing it for himself, but he's doing it because Bob has made that decision and Bob is his best friend. You need to make decisions for yourself. You need to go through the journey of change, and you need to go through the journey of change for yourself and by yourself. You need to make that decision. Submitting a person, now you even deciding to make changes in your life because another person is making changes in their life can be quite dangerous and be quite tricky because the person, like for instance Bob in this scenario, has looked at particular things in his life and is deciding that, what, I think I need to do this journey. But Rob is making that decision because Bob is making that decision. It's not sustainable. You know, if you look at, something happened recently, and that is what is actually informing, you know, what I'm saying to you this morning. It's really not sustainable. You cannot submit people to change because you want them to change. You need to paint the idea in their head that it would be a good thing for you to maybe stop this habit and pick up new habits. But you need to, but you know, the underlying message that you're saying to this person should be, you need to do it in your own time. You need to do it in your own space. You need to do it when you are ready, you know. And, you know, with loving people and entering marriages, relationships with people, I'll always say you need to accept them for who they are. You know, compromises in relationships are actually important if you want a relationship to work. But, you know, moving forward, you need to accept who they are and love them regardless if they change. People change is inevitable. Really, it is inevitable because, you know, as human beings, we are a canvas of experiences. When you look at a painting canvas, it starts from white, and then you put yellow on it, then you put green on it, then you put blue on it, then you put red on it. Human beings are like that. Sometimes we experience things that paint us yellow. We experience another thing that adds green to our life. We experience another thing that adds red. Change is inevitable. So you need to give people the benefits of the, if you can't accept them for who they are, if you can't accept them well with the way they are, maybe you really actually shouldn't be with them. I hope you've enjoyed my little pep talk on relationships this morning on Tea or Coffee.